Your Eminence, in question 287 now, it says, what does love of our neighbor demand with respect to lawful authority?
With respect to lawful authority, love of neighbor demands, first, that we accept the fact that authority comes from God, whether that authority be that of parents in the home, or civil authorities, or authorities in the church. Accepting that, we give our willing obedience and respect, and therefore the necessary cooperation.
Yes.
Those in authority, on the other hand, are bound to serve those over whom they are placed, because authority is service, not domination.
So it's a two-edged sword. I mean, people have to follow, but the one in authority has to be careful.
Yes, it is a two-way traffic.
Now,
Both parts have duties.
Right. It was amazing, though, when we reflect on the words of, in Scripture, and Pontius Pilate telling Jesus Christ that I have the authority to save you or to have you killed, and Jesus checked him immediately and said, even your authority comes from my Father.
Yes. So that Christ recognized the authority of Pontius Pilate, not because Pontius Pilate was a brave man or a holy person, but because the authority comes from God the Father.
Yes.
So Christ recognized the authority of his Father in Pontius Pilate. That is a lesson for all of us.
I know Mother Teresa, she talks about, I would say one subject she talks about the most in a committed life is obedience. It is submitting one's will to another one in authority, in lawful authority now, and that is how we know we're living in God's will. And she says if your superior is telling you to do something wrong, as long as it's not morally wrong, that's their problem with God. You following what they're telling you to do is so important. And Bishop Sheen referred to that once. He said when he came back from Rome after he had all of his education and all of his degrees, and he was on Vatican Radio and a great personality, and he thought for sure his bishop would place him in a great figure of prominence maybe of the Catholic University, but rather he sent him out to the smallest diocese smallest parish in his diocese to be an assistant pastor. Well, very humbling for Bishop Sheen. And he said if he didn't obey his bishop at that time, he probably would be a basket case. So he followed authority.
Yes, the motto of Pope John the 23rd is Obedientia et Pax. Obedience, and then you will have peace.
Yes.
The will of God is our peace. So when we accept lawful authority and obey, God will look after us. What Mother Teresa told you was exact.
Yes.
We do what our superiors tell us, unless they tell us to do something that is sinful.
Right, then we don't. Right.
Suppose a state law were to tell us to do something that is sinful. That's what we mean. Then it's no longer lawful authority.
Right.
Rare, but it's just good to know that it can happen.
But people rebel against authority so much in the family, in the workplace, and like you said, if they would follow, then they would have that peace. But it is that struggle. They're always trying to break the rules or bend the rules to a point so they can do what they want to do.
That's the mistake. The law of God is therefore to respect authority, to accept it, and authority comes from God. Yes. So it is a way of our showing respect for God.